So my Lennox thermostat went blank again, one of the many times, but this time it won't come back. And I'm going to go through the troubleshooting steps that you would take to see what's wrong. There's a number of things that could go wrong. Some people say pull fuse and put it back, and it worked. And in other cases, it doesn't work, like my case. So I'll go through all the steps, and pretty easy. Um, Ultimately, I got to the point where I had to replace the thermostat. We'll get into that in another video. Thanks. Okay, reset your thermostat. Top left, there's a button. Hold it down. Keep it down for a few seconds and then let it go. You should see the little house come up. And if you get this, you have not been successful. Hey guys, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. If you are not comfortable dealing with electrical stuff or any kind of equipment, you need to find someone that is, or a HVAC tech to do this next stuff. You know, I'm not a tech or anything, but I've done it enough to where I know how to do it. You have to go to the air handler, which some people might call a furnace. There's a power box that you would pull or flip the switch off. I always have a voltage meter to check the wire going into the unit to make sure that it did indeed shut voltage down. There have been cases when those little boxes have been set up incorrectly and they still had voltage going in there. So you have to know what you're doing. Check voltage, opened it up, you know, after it was powered down, and then I powered it back up. And why did I do that? Because I wanted to see if I got an alert light from Lennox. Okay, I had the panel off. Now I could see the board, which I'll show you in a minute. And in my case, I had a single blinking light after I powered it back up. And I also noticed that the communication, it looks like a modem for the thermostat, was not on. So that told me immediately that it probably burned out that piece of equipment. But just, I wanted to see what the board showed on the Lennox itself. If it didn't have that blinking light, I would have powered it down and then changed the fuse to see if that fixed it. And I'll show you that in a minute. But in my case, it had the single blinking light. It was powered on, so apparently it wasn't the fuse, and it was certainly the communication device that looks like the router. And I was faced with either replacing that what they call COM bus, or and purchasing a whole new thermostat by Lennox, or using my own, and that'll be a second video that we do. Okay, this is the board, and on the top left, you see a pink fuse there. That may need to be replaced if you don't see any blinking light. You'd want to power that unit down again, remove shut down the fuse box, or pull the breaker, and replace that 3-amp fuse that you could get at Home Depot or anywhere. Just tell them you need a 3-amp fuse, and they'll help you. And you could put that in and see if that works. In my case, I saw that the communication device for Lennox was not working. It wasn't powered up or anything, and I was getting a blinking light, so I had power. Hey guys, so I call this thing a COM bus on here on that screen you just saw, but it's actually Smart Hub, I think is what they call it. I checked this to see if it had any life. No lights coming up when I powered up the unit, so it seemed to be dead. And at that point, it was time to decide whether I'm going to buy another a Lennox thermostat or replace it with an independent. And fortunately, we manufacture our own, and that is what I'm going to replace it with. And I'll cover that in another video. So I already have a Greenpoint IoT/controller device on this unit. On that left side, you could see the inputs for the supply air, return air, liquid line, suction line, and the blower amps, which I was tracking to have the vitals, and then Greenpoint has a diagnostic that lets me know what condition my unit is in, so I don't get surprised with disrepairs. I'm not into replacing $10,000+ units, so I'd rather fix the little things and make sure it's always running well. Now that right side is what I have since added, you can see there, but we'll cover that in another video. And it basically covers the output wires that send the voltage out to the unit and tell it what to do, turn on cooling, heating, whatever, reverse the valve that does that, and blah blah blah. So I'll cover that in another video. Installing this on a Lennox unit is not as easy as one would think. I've seen videos where they say, oh yeah, you just throw it in there and connect it to the T-stat terminals, and that's not correct at all. So anyway, I'll do another video on that, and if you want to watch that, if you're interested in connecting a second party or a third party thermostat, and we'll talk about the Greenpoint thermostat and what it brings to the table. Thanks for watching.